Casale lies has been populated since Roman times. At the time, Casale was called Vardacate, and it had been built on the right-hand bank of the Po, the longest and most important of the Italian rivers. When the Roman Empire declined, also the little settlement was abandoned, only to be rebuilt some centuries later with the present name of Casale. Casale is first mentioned in a manuscript dated 988. By the year 1000, the little town had grown in size and importance, strategically situated between the river and the hills. A cathedral was built, and in spite of the several attacks from the neighbor towns, it never surrendered. With the passing time, Casale was chosen at the end of the 14th century as the capital for the court of the Marquis of Monferrato, a huge territory which has recently become a UNESCO site.
The noble families who ruled Casale in the past were the Leramo family, the Paleologi family under whose government Casale became one of the most important cities in the northern Italy, and the Gonzaga family. All of them improved the town, building palaces, churches, and consolidating the defending system of the city with a castle and a six-bastion citadel, which became one of the most important in Europe. Finally, in 1715, Casale became part of the Savoy's possession, as nearly all of Piedmont, and lost in its rule as a capital. Under the Savoy domination, the town was enriched with magnificent palaces, and the town continued to have an important role also during the years which saw the struggle of the Savoy family in order to unify Italy, which happened in 1861.
Of the 20th century, Casale experienced a new period of great vitality and welfare, becoming the capital of cement production. Today, it's a charming little town full of history and atmosphere, and it still appeals to the people who live here, to the several tourists who visit it.
In the mid-14th century, Marquis Giovanni II Palaeologus decided to enclose a large area of land lying outside the perimeter of the medieval walls, beside one of the gates, Porta dell'Acquarola, to form a real castle, which the subsequent intervention by Guglielmo VIII transformed in around 1460 into a courtly residence, embellished by the presence of famous artists. It was strengthened by Duke Guglielmo Gonzaga. Transformed during the French domination to the plans of the Great Vauban, the castle was all that remained of the city's fortifications after the demolition of the citadel. It was the scene of all the turbulent events of the late 18th and early 19th century.
Civic Tower is more commonly known as Santo Stefano, owing to its vicinity to the church of that name. The tower was restored at the council expense. It is possible to climb to up the panoramic balcony during the antiques market and at the Feast of Wine and the Monferrato, as well as every second weekend. A symbol of the city, the narrow construction dates back to the year 1000. The part above the terrace was added by Marquis Guglielmo IX Palaeologus in the early 16th century, and two large bells, still visible, with diameters of 95 and 137 centimeters, were installed. The dome was added in the 18th century. In a room under the bell chamber, there is still the anti-aircraft siren from World War II.
The monument of the archaeologist Luigi Canina from Casale is in the delightful small square, the city's most refined salon. This church is by Cacciatori. Against the background of the square stands the majestic terracotta facade of Palazzo Ricci di Cereseto, attributed to Count Magnocavalli and renovated in the early 19th century. The building was used as headquarters of General George Tilner, commander of the Austro-Russian during the Restoration of 1799.
Bar the Portinaro Bakery. The origin of this biscuit with their characteristic markings is still uncertain, as is the derivation of their name. Some prefer to trace them back to the year of the date of the King Vittorio Emanuele II of Italy, 1878, whose handlebar moustache are perfectly imitated by the shape of this biscuit. Others are convinced that the name was inspired by the Algerian soldiers. The chronicles of the time describe an episode in which a European caravan was rescued by the Bedouins, the Kurmiri. Domenico Rossi, the inventor of the recipe, received many compliments and was awarded with the bronze medal for his participation at the Universal Exhibition of Turin in 1884.
Marquis Guglielmo VIII himself laid the foundation stone of the Dominican complex in 1472 in fulfillment of a vow. The large Gothic interior is divided in a main aisle and two side aisles. The lunette above the doorway tells the whole story. Guglielmo VIII and Boniface V, with his wife Maria of Serbia, and their son Guglielmo IX. To the right of the church there is a Renaissance-style cloister surrounded by Gothic buildings. The bell tower and the parsonage which is fully furnished and decorated with fine paintings.
Commonly known as the Duomo of Casale, the Cathedral of Sant'Evasio is one of the greatest examples of Romanesque architecture. The narthex, the ancient vestibule of the catacombs, is a masterpiece of aesthetics which is studied worldwide. Some Romanesque remnants confirm the ancient origin in the basilica dedicated to Evasio, which was consecrated by Pope Pascal II in January 1107. Treasure. The cathedral has a rich treasury which, in spite of theft over the centuries, is a testimony of the importance of the church in Casale. Hanging from the ceiling in the center of the church is a crucifix in gilded silver plate studded with precious stone, probably of German origin, 11th-12th century. It was removed from the Cathedral of Alessandria in the early 15th century by the condottiere from Casale Ficino Cane, together with the relics of Sant'Evasio, which had been stolen by the enemy after the destruction of the city in 1215. Column bearing Christ monogram show the entrance to the 18th century chapel dedicated to the saint in the exact spot of Evasio martyrdom. Tradition exists that you can hear the flow of blood if you put your ear.
Palazzo Gozzani di San Giorgio is the most important building in Casale, not only because it has housed the town hall since 1885, but also because its furnished reception rooms allow visitors to appreciate the artistic and architectural style which marked the passage from Rococo to the neoclassic period. Over the entrance arch there is a beautiful iron frame window. There are two 18th century sundials on the buildings in the principal courtyard. The entrance hall leads to the dual round staircase, with a very high ceiling with cross vaulting, coffer work and relief.
The lunes in the arcs contain frescoes of the histories of San Nicola of Tolentino. A center of religious life, the former Augustinian monastery was the venue for major political meetings, like the Congress of Plenipotentiary Ambassadors summoned at the beginning of the 16th century by Emperor Maximilian of Habsburg. Looks the central via Roma. The ancient chroniclers record that in 1242 the Umiliati celebrated Mass in the church, followed by the Augustinians from 1327. The was church, with main hazel and double-sided hazels, was consecrated in 1344, and a new neoclassical facade with Doric columns, designed by Count Magnocavalli, was added in the mid-18th century and now is a shopping center.
Santa Caterina was built in the early 18th century to a design by Sculptor in the Baroque style. The high altar is embellished with polychrome marble and crowned by the majestic statue of Our Lady of the Assumption. The cleaning was and elegant elliptical dome are crowned with